Hello, everybody. 'Tis I, Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi-Voice. I have many voices, but one opinion. And today, I got another review for you folks. And as you can see, I'm not wearing my Doctor Who outfit. I'm wearing my Guardians of the Galaxy shirt. Because, well, I don't have anything Star Wars because I'm not a big fan of Star Wars in the first place. But one thing I am going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is that I'm going to be talking about a movie, an animated movie that came out in 1985, same year I was born, and a lot of people say that it is a Star Wars ripoff. And the movie I'm going to be talking to you today is none other than Starchaser, The Legend of Orin. Now, what can I say about this movie, Star Wars: The Legend of Orin? Well, it all started, there is this one planet, and there's a lot of people, a lot of slaves started mining for crystals. And they've been working constantly, just digging and digging and digging for more crystals. And we have our hero in this movie, and he goes by the name of Orin, who is voiced by Joe Clangan. Calgan. And he's pretty much a very strong-willed kid, very observant. I mean, he knew that there is more than just living your entire life as a slave, digging for crystals for their ruler. And of course, he has a love interest who goes with the name of Elian, voiced by Nola North. And Nola North, I mean, she really loves him. I mean, she really does have feelings for him, and he has feelings for her. Even her grandfather can see the romance between the two. And out come this blind kid who goes by the name of Collie, voice, voiced by this child star who just appeared in that show called Small Wonder, but haven't been doing anything else, Darlin Bertley. Now, even though he's a blind kid, all he does, he walks around giving water to those who are thirsty from all the work. And of course, Owen, he's trying to help his grandfather because his grandfather's been working so hard that he filled up his bucket for the crystals he had dug up. Even though Ellie thinks that's not a good idea, they'll kill him. He shouldn't be working too much. But of course, his robot slaves saying, "Hey, enough talking, get back to work!" And even start whacking out their laser whips. And then it is time to meet their master. And they all had to meet their lord and ruler, goes by the name of Zygon. No, not that Zygon from Doctor Who. I told you, I'm kind of avoiding Doctor Who a bit. I meant the other Zygon, here. And Zygon is voiced by this voice actor named Anthony D. Longus. Anyway, Zygon told them that they're not getting enough crystals and they need to work for more in order to help their civilization. And he also had been offering them food, which is bread. So anyway, while they finally got their message from Zygon, from out of nowhere, Owen have found a sword. A sword from out of nowhere. And when he touched it, the sword started to glow, and then this ghostly figure showed up. He's starting to make me think of Ghost's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force. The Force will be with you. Go to the Dagobah system and meet Yoda. But of course, this ghost character is voiced by Paul Frees. and tells him to go find the blade for this sword handle that he gets. Now, and he said that there are other worlds out there, so Owen believes that there's a whole other world out there that they need to start digging up high instead of being underground. But of course, one of them who says, "That's lies! Up there is hell!" So they both fought because he was about ready to call the robot slave owners. So now Owen decided to go on his own, but Elaine, I mean Elon, wants to go with him, and of course Collie wants to go too, but he's blind because he's a little kid and he's blind. He can't go any further. And of course, as usual, Owen and Elon, they see the truth that what they're living is a cave who are gathering all the crystals together. And of course, Zygon removed his helmet, revealing himself as a normal guy. And of course, now, and he said, since you know the truth, your penalty will be death. So he grabbed. Now, this is one interesting. I mean, that was the most shocking scene of all. That Owen's beloved Elon, he grabbed her by the throat and strangled her and killed her. And Owen got so mad he grabbed his handle sword and it started to cut through and stabbed every single robot slavers. And when they were firing their lasers at him, Zygon was like, "Watch out! You're gonna hit the crystals!" And when their laser hit the crystal, big explosion starts happening. So now, Owen, he dug his way out of the ground and into the to the land. It turns out he's not in hell, and all of a sudden, a bunch of these mandroids showed up. Human androids that takes body parts out of people for their own body. And there is this one who's so creepy. I mean, look at this one. Remember me, Eddie? When I kill you, brother, I talk just like this! Sorry. Red Eyes makes me think of that Judge Dune as the tune in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And from out of nowhere, he meets this guy. Oh, let me guess. He's Han Solo. So pretty much we got the story here. Owen is Luke Skywalker. Zygon is Darth Vader. And we have a smuggler who is like Han Solo, except his name is Dag. Dag DeBerry. I mean, Debrarium. Debrarium. Dag, I'm just calling him Dag, and that's Dag right here. And he is voiced by this actor who also played Dr. Carter's father on Stargate, Carmen Agazzano. Carmen Agazzano. Now, at first, he decided to leave him behind, and he's there. I mean, this smuggler is going in to steal some crystals out of their planet. And of course, he keeps asking Owen some questions. He said, "Where's your ship?" And he was like, "What's a ship?" I mean, he keeps asking questions that Owen don't even know because he lived his entire life as a slave. He doesn't even know all the things that goes on out there. So he contacted Arthur, who is voiced by Les Tremian. Now, Arthur, he's like C3PO. He has a British accent who acts like a sissy boy and complains about things, and he's there for comic relief. Except he's not a robot. He's not a human cyborg relations. He is actually a AI ship. That means he is the AI computer for the ship. And from out of nowhere, out comes this Starfly, this little red orb of light that starts flying around. And this Starfly is voiced by Mana Marshall, who, believe it or not, does the voice of Cartman's mom. I mean, not Cartman's mom, Kyle's mom. Kyle's mom from South Park. She does the voice of Kyle's mom from South Park. And one thing I have to admit, Cartman's right about one thing. Kyle's mom is the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. Kyle's mom's a freaking bitch. Screw you guys, I'm going home. So, Dad grabbed the kid, got into his ship, and all of a sudden, Dad gets captured. Zygon decided to confront him, but Owen couldn't help himself. Every time he sees Zygon, he keeps going after him with with his sword hill, and he kept slicing on some of the robots. And of course, Dag even brought some of his android army with him, but they all been shot down one by one. And it turns out there is this fembot that showed up. Her name is Celestia, who is voiced by Tagarelia. Bear with me on the names. I'm trying to pronounce it as good as I can. But anyway, Dag grabs Celestia, and they got into Arthur, who is a ship, and he decided to reprogram her, and then he was like, Arthur, how can I reprogram this fembot? Which is Celestia. And Arthur, he says, the only way you can reprogram her is not on her back, it's on her, ooh, what? Her derriere. Oh my. And of course, Celestia's saying, you wouldn't dare, but he taped her mouth shut, opening up her. Well, I always heard bite my shiny metal ass, but this is ridiculous. I mean, he's reprogramming her shiny metal ass. But after he's done reprogramming her and removed the tape from her lips, she's like, hi. Has everybody ever tell you you're very attractive for a human? Wow. Just wow. I know Star Wars never had a fembot who change personalities. Now, Dag decided to go to his other planet because he has some crystals that he wants to sell. So he went to this one planet and meet his Jabba the Hutt-like character, except he's a Arab stereotype. Goes with the name of Maghrib. Voiced by Ken Salmon. Ken Salmon. Ken Salmon. Who also did the voice of that smart duck on the Disney cartoons. And it turns out that he decided to took Celestia into an auction where this one auctioneer who goes by the name of Zygar, that's Zygar right here, he was auctioning her off, voiced by the speediest, fast-talking actor in the world, John Machetta Jr. And if you don't recognize him, here's one thing I remember back in the 90s doing the Micro Machine commercials. This here's a Micro Machine commercial. If it's not Micro Machine, it's not the real thing. I used to talk just like him when he always talked like that. He always talked really, really fast. And of course, we have these other characters that showed up. a girl who goes by the name of Eviana, who is also voiced by Nellie North. And also with her is this other robot who's also voiced by John Ramo. And they're decided to auction. I mean, they're about raising their bets over the Fembot, but of course, Orin just barged in and he started raising the price. And of course, one thing I gotta say about the Aviana, the way she looks, her appearance, she reminds me so much of Teela from He-Man. Now, of course, I'm not a big fan of He-Man. Like I said, when I reviewed Ghostbusters, on Ghostbusters 2, all the kids were saying, He-Man, He-Man, He-Man. I felt like, screw your He-Man, you pack of sissies! I'm just not a big fan of He-Man. And I've heard about the new movie coming out, but I don't know if it's going to be a success or not. I just don't care. Anyway, Dag showed up, saved Orin's bacon, because even though he won the auction, he didn't have any of the money with him. But Dag showed up and gave Zygar his money. And they got in their ship and they took off. And then all of a sudden they were getting apprehended because there's a warrant on both Owen and Dag. So they started going after him. They crash landed their ship. The bad guys grabbed Dag, while Owen, on the other hand, Ivania, he found him. And of course, when Orin opens his eyes, he saw her as Ilan until he focused his eyes. Turns out it was Ivania. Well, hell, why not? They both are voiced by the same actress, so no surprise there. And of course, throughout the series, it turns out that Ivania starts having feelings for Orin, so she's trying to help him. And of course, she couldn't believe that he is a slave in this one planet because her father, it turns out she's the Princess Leia in this, except she's not related to Owen, thank God. Hate to have incest stories in science fiction. But anyway, turns out, she's not, she's like Leia. She's not a princess, but she's a daughter of a very rich businessman. And she was shocked to know that this one planet who were mining the crystals were human slaves. She thought she had robots doing all that work, but it turns out the robots were enslaving the humans. She was so upset over it, she went back to the planet and she confronted Zygon, and Zygon recognized him. And of course, when he brought out his sword, his invisible sword, he lashed out and it cut off Zygon's hand off. And of course, when he was grabbing his hand, the sword cut him right in the cheek, showing that Zygon, he's an android, a robot. But he's not a robot, he's the robot known as Nexus. And of course, he also said that Owen, he noticed when he used that sword handle and the blade is invisible, he said that he is a member of the Kakan. Kakan! Oh no, wait, it's Kakan. Kan! Kan! Sorry, I like doing Star Trek reference. Well, it's pretty obvious since I said "oh my" in the George Takei impression. Oh my. So much of their surprise. And of course, even Zygon was torturing Dag for some information that he wanted to hear. and tortured him the same way how Darth Vader tortured Han Solo on Empire Strikes Back. But thank God in this movie there is no Orin, I am your father. No! Because they're not going that far to rip that far off on Star Wars. I mean they have characters that are similar to the characters on Star Wars, but not too close to rip off everything. That's for damn sure. But anyway, since Owen is a Kakan, he's their only hope. And of course, the Starfly grabs the handle of the sword. I mean, gave that invisible handle of the invisible sword and moved it all the way to Owen's prison cell, and he cut his way out of there. Wait a minute. He used a blade to cut through a metal door? This movie was made way after The Phantom Menace. Huh. Or Star Wars Episode 1, however I like to call it. But anyway, he freed himself and he frees Dag and also took down all the robot army that Zygon had leashed. They were about ready to shoot their missiles in Avania's father's planet, but they saved their planet. And of course, Orin shows up to save Avania. And it turns out that, I mean, she even confronted him saying, the only reason why I took you to that planet, I didn't do it just to save. I mean, I didn't do it because for my father's sake. I did it for you because I really like you. Okay. Owen lost his girlfriend and he was with her longer than I know. He lost her, and now Avania is taking her place, and he just met her about a day ago. I mean, he only met her like a couple of minutes ago. How how did she fall in love with him? Oh well. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Celestia, the fembot, she starts helping Arthur, patching him up, even though Arthur is ungrateful, jackass. But they flew out and tried to help out Dag and Orin and of course Avania. They shut down a bunch of those robot armies in their ship and destroyed everything. So now here it comes, the face-off, Orin versus Zygon. And of course, every time Zygon grabs that sword with the invisible blade, he tries to swing against it, but it didn't work. It only works to Orin because he's a Kakan. Zygon, he's no Kakan because he's a robot. So it doesn't work for him. Now, of course, he knocked the handle of his invisible sword down, and then he hit Orin, and now he's hanging on the edge. And then all of a sudden, the Starfly says, you don't need the sword. The power is in with you. You don't need to find the blade. The true power is in with you. So, in the Starfly would say, the sword is Bupkis! I found it in the Crackerjack box! Spaceballs. Use a Schwartz! Use a Schwartz! So, while Zygon was using his foot to stomp on his hand, he reached out on his other leg and pulled himself up. And then he did this, and then he had an invisible sword appear right in his hand. And Zygon is like, Impossible! And he starts swinging the sword, and then he Darth Mauled Zygon. Means he cut him in half, fell into the lava. Now he's toast. And now and of course they even destroyed the main core of Zygon's tower, and the tower itself is getting to be destroyed. So now the mine area is starting to collapse. And the last thing he had to do, he had to grab that sword, that handle for the invisible sword, and toss it towards the area, and it made a huge, it made a path all the way to the top, and tell everybody to go up there quickly. So now they're out of the mines and in the fresh air and out in the open area. And of course, one more thing that Orin can do, he looked up to Colleen, and he put his hands in front of his eyes, so now he's not blind anymore. He can see. And now the spirit, the ghost of the Kakans, says, "You have fought valiantly, and I am very impressed. And now we have a spot for you to join with us in the spiritual member of the Kakan." But of course, he says, "I'm not ready yet. There's a lot more for me to do here." So the spirits of the Kakan says, "Very well then, live freely." And then they all flew all the way up to the stars. While at the same time, now Dag broke his leg, and Celestia tries to help him, and Dag even kissed her, but of course she's a fembot, so when he kissed her, he got electrical jolt. Woo! Ho 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 ho! She's a shocking kisser. So now, Orin, Azania, Dag, and Celestia, they all live happily ever after. The end. And there's one thing that kind of bothers me. Now, one thing I learned on the credits that Michael Winslow was in the movie. Now, for those of you who don't know, Michael Winslow, he's my idol. He's the one who inspired me to do impressions and sound effects. And for those of you who don't know, I mean, he was in Police Academy, and also he had a part on Spaceballs. You know this one. Drive it right there, sir. What is it? A loss of bleeps, a loss of sweeps, and a loss of creeps. The what, and the what? You know, the bleeps. Boop, 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 boop. The sweeps. And the creeps. That's not always lost. Michael Winslow was my idol, and he inspired me to do impressions, and even I do some sound effects too. Now, my thoughts, is this a Star Wars ripoff? I would say yeah, but it wasn't too much of a Star Wars ripoff. But of course, a lot of people will probably, behind my back, would say, Starchaser? I got nothing to say about that at all. Ripoff! I tell ya. And of course, I even heard that somebody's planning to make a live action version of Starchaser. We do have a live action version. It's called Star Wars! Anyway, this is my review for the day. So, if any of you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more. And as for me, I'm gonna go do some Star-Lording. Bum 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 bum. Hey hey, come and get your love. Boom ba dum bum. Come and get your love.